just saw, I just saw the picture. I had actually, I promise I had not seen the picture. I forgot stuck on the picture. Had the party. I hadn't even seen the picture. I promise. I promise. I promise. Ay, mi raza. Guys, it is a beautiful evening in the city of Brownsville, and it has been a crazy busy day for Erasmo Castro. Thank y'all so much for y'all's patience. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We're going to definitely have a short show. I don't even have my YouTube up. Yes, of course, I'm going to have everything rushing at the last moment. Guys, have a great evening. It's been a busy day for Erasmo Castro. I'm trying to get all the preparations ready and things on the go in regards to my my trip to Roma, Texas. Remember when we were younger, pasábamos por Monterrey, no había la autopista y íbamos por la Libre. It was the only road to go to Monterrey. And let me say, pasábamos por China, Nuevo León, y decíamos, voy a China, Nuevo León. A China, Nuevo León. Anyway, I'm going to Roma, Texas. It is a difficult going to these places because you have to coordinate because each different country that you're going to visit, each different place out there, they have a different guidelines in regards to getting into the countries. And Italy is somewhat on the weird side, but not completely out there crazy. You have to do a PCR test for some reason, and I honestly I don't know why. You read one thing in regards to what's going on in regards to the what they need or what they're requiring in order to get her done to get into a country, and it seems like they keep on changing and changing and changing. That's one of the reasons why I didn't make my Morocco trip. I'm going to get there, guys. Trust me. I didn't make my Morocco trip just because of that, because I hadn't asked the right people and didn't have the PCR test to go into the country. So for this one, I'm going to get a PCR test, which is what the airline is asking for. I'm going to get my PCR test tomorrow, so that way I could go into Italy, and then I'm going to fly into Greece, and Greece requires the PCR test as well. I'm getting tired I'm getting tired of all these PCR tests. Yeah, I'm done with all the mandates. I want stuff to go back to normal. Unfortunately, they're going normal in other countries a lot faster than they are here. A lot more. And it's just getting to the point where it becomes very bothersome. Este, I want everyone to be in sync. United States requires a PCR test to come into the country. Mexico doesn't, and there's other countries out there that don't. And look, it seems like not everyone out there, guys, is having the same issues, as we are. So I want, I want a little bit more of uniformity. Oh my lord, what am I doing here? Cut. I want a little bit more uniformity. I want everyone to be on the same page. Unfortunately for us, it's not. Let me go through all the comments, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the arena that we're building, and hopefully we'll have someone that has a little bit of experience in regards to these type of matters. Good evening, Joe, my man, and because I want it to be explained in a way that makes sense. For me, it's very simple. Good evening, Sasillo of Fama Ali. Good evening, El Gallo de Joe Valdez. Ati. Good evening, Jessica Hermosa. Abraham, my man. Good evening. Good evening, Alfonso. Ota Maggie. Maggie couldn't make it with us tonight. She's a little bit on the sick side. Evening. Take me with you. Vente, vámonos. Good evening, Pedro and Ila Maggie. No, she didn't ditch. Maggie is feeling a little bit cancel under the weather. TV sans cancel. Oh, smart TVs aren't as smart as they thought. Good evening, Frank. And Maggie's under the weather. Scott, love the bow tie. Lose the bow tie. Hater. I just came back from a wedding, guys. Give me a break. 9 a.m. It's 9 p.m. What are you drinking, buddy? I am drinking coconut water. It is amazing. I want nobody out there to buy my coconut water. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I made the machine that tests your PCR strips for leaks from the use. Todd Barnfind, you are amazing, my man. Amazing. Good evening, my man. It was good to see you tonight. And I actually got myself a nice little mug for my coffee tomorrow. Facebook jail inmate number 29. Guys, like I said, we are going to talk real quick about the arena. The vote is tomorrow. I think it's very important. And asked a friend of ours, friend of the community, to give us some insight in regards to it. And tonight, Maggie couldn't make it. Let's go, Brandon. But we do have Judge Carlos Cascos with us tonight. So if you want, hey, Judge Cascos, how you doing, my man?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. Long time no see.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. It's good. It's always good to see you, man. One of the things that I always appreciate about going to the mall on Sundays after worship service is that I get to see someone stay with headphones on walking the mall.
And a mask at times. Or
Well,
most of the time.
a lot of times, no?
Yeah.
Do you find just the mall just a good place to walk around? Or, I mean, you out there buying everything up at Dillard's and all the expensive stores at the mall? Or?
No, it's a good place to see folks you haven't seen in a long time. Number one, it is a little bit cooler than walking outside. And plus you can, there's also readily available restrooms. And I can get a bite to eat, get something to drink or something. I've been walking the mall for years and I enjoy it.
Yeah, I enjoy it too. I used to do walking at Sam's and at Walmart. I don't know why, but then I started to do ya que estoy aquí, let me pick up this, let me pick up that. And I hadn't planned on buying much of anything. And I left the store with like a basket full of crap that I probably wasn't going to use anyway.
Well, it's kind of funny. People ask me, are there a lot of people at the mall? A lot of people at the mall. And a lot of times there are a lot of people at the mall. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to how many people are in the mall. I pay attention to how many people are walking with bags in the mall.
Wow. Well, one of the things that I think I found very surprising is that I'm seeing a lot of younger kids with, a lot of expensive bags, buying stuff at the mall. I'm going like, man, when I was young, I couldn't buy myself nothing.
Yeah. I've been there. Sometimes I'm still there.
Yeah. Times are changing, man. I think it has to do a lot with a lot of parents sometimes are a little bit more gracious in regards to their finances with their kids. And I don't know if it's part of the sense that, when we were growing up, we had very, very little, Judge.
We didn't have malls, though.
Eh?
We didn't have malls. We just walked down Elizabeth Street.
Well, yeah, it's true. It's so true. I was all ecstatic with Amigoland Mall, man.
Amigoland Mall, that's right.
We used to walk all the way from Southmost, all the way to Amigoland Mall because we didn't even have money to. I think it was like a quarter or 50 cents for the bus. Couldn't even afford that crap.
Yeah.
And of course, I wanted to save my quarters for. I can't remember what was that. Somebody's got to remember the name of that video game place that was right there, right after JCPenney. No me acuerdo. I know number one fun was at Sunrise Mall, but I can't remember the one.
I remember it. Yes, remember? You play those old video games now, and now forget it. They're just so fancy. I can't figure them out.
I can't either.
They're too complex.
Tomorrow is election day, in the state of Texas. And a lot of the stuff out there, very, very important. But I think the one that is hitting us directly, and let me say that I did have one individual contact me and say, hey, uh, I couldn't find the Cameron County arena. Well, I said, like, it's on the back of the page. On the back of the page, are you finding that some people are having a hard time finding the arena amendment or
Yeah,
arena?
I mean, if some yes, but mainly I think a lot of folks have done a good job at explaining where it is on the ballot. And I was on with Royal Martinez a little bit ago, and he had a good point. You're not going to find no on the ballot. It's against. It's for or against. So remind people, if you're going to vote no or against it, then fill in the against. You're not going to find the word no on there. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, we'll just see what happens tomorrow.
I've taken a very, very firm I know that you have taken a firm stance, and I think that we're in tune in regards to the reasoning why is that each of us is not supporting this measure. I think you have a more sophisticated way of explaining things in regards to the fiscally responsible. Let's look at the numbers type of situation, and I'll share mine first, and then you could go, and we might
Okay,
be in tune.
sure.
And then you give the smart version of what I meant to say. And
Okay.
my thing is mine is very, very simple. I don't trust them. I don't trust our county judge. I don't trust Eddie Trevino. I don't trust the county commissioners. I don't trust any of our local leadership in regards to putting us this much in debt, especially with the what I call shenanigans that we've seen as of recent, in regards to the local leadership here in our area, and the individuals who are there to ultimately make decisions for everyone here in the community as a whole. So again, while we have these individuals in office, absolutely not. I don't Me personally, I don't feel comfortable, Judge. I don't feel comfortable in saying, well, at least we've got this individual on the county commission court that I could say, hey, he's going to be watching out for our interests. I can't see a one, and so I'm going to continue to vote no. I've recommended for my family and friends to vote against the measure. But what is your take on the arena?
My take. Well, first of all, let me thank you for having me on the show today, and let me preface by saying that I support the concept of it. I just don't believe that the numbers are where they need to be. What I posted on my Facebook page the link to the Cameron County budget that is prepared by the county auditor's office. Auditors have a big responsibility when they don't adopt, but they present the budget to the commissioner's court. Those numbers have to be realistic. They cannot be pie in the sky. They cannot be embellished. That it's the auditor has a tremendous responsibility. If you download, or if you go to the Cameron County budget link that I posted and go to
Yes.
page 243, and there the budget for the venue budget is there. The numbers don't jive. I'm sorry. They just don't jive. Right now, based on what they budgeted for 21-22, it barely breaks even. As a matter of fact, they have to transfer a couple of $1,000s in from somewhere in order to balance it. The revenues that they show are about 2.9 million, and this is exactly what they're proposing. 2.9 million. The expenditures are about 1.7 million, and then the current debt right now is 1.2 million. I wrote the numbers down. So just right now, the way it is, it's barely a break-even situation. So now they're talking about 1/3 of the 100 million is what the venue taxes, which is the auto, hotel, motel, rentals, is going to pay. 1/3. That's about $140,000 per month just to amortize $33 million over 20 years. That means that those taxes they're collecting right now, in order to pay that debt alone would have to increase by about 42, 43%. It's not going to happen. Numbers don't jive. Okay.
No.
So there's a lot of wishful thinking. Well, we're going to get a grant of 50 million. We're going to get sponsored. You know, a lot of, if you were in Vegas and playing craps, you'd be betting on the come. And you're not, you know, you're dealing with other people's money. It's not your money. You know, you're dealing with you have a fiduciary responsibility for this money. And unfortunately, no one on the commissioner's court, in my opinion, has a real strong financial background. I mean, they just don't. And these are not my numbers, but I ask anybody, go to the link, go to those pages, 243, 244, and those are the numbers. Now, that is what they budgeted for 2022. So that's going to be your floor. So I just don't believe that they're going to be able to raise those venue taxes by 43%. Okay. So what the commissioner's court is saying is two things. One, we're not going to increase property taxes, and we're not going to go to the general fund. That's what they've said. Well, the park system and the bridge system are not part of the general fund. Those are what they call enterprise funds. So we pay tolls. You pay because you go to Mexico a lot. You got to pay your toll. A lot of that money goes into Cameron County to help subsidize the general fund. And then you have park fees. Most of the people that go to our parks, Isla Blanca, Dolph Tomei, Andy Bowie, those are local folks. Those are local people. So they're not going to touch general fund, but I do see them increasing park fees to make up any shortfalls. And it's not general funds. And so they're not lying about that. But why haven't they said, we're not going to use any county money? It's all going to be funded by our increases in these venue taxes. It's not going to happen.
No.
Based on the numbers. So I invite anybody, go to the budget. It's not really difficult to read. And you just see the numbers. 2 plus 2 in my life is still 4.
Well, one of the things that you had posted, and I've agreed with everything that I've been able to understand on what you post, and I say that because you are the expert.
I don't know about that, but
you're the numbers guy.
But I know numbers. That's correct.
You're the numbers guy, so you're the expert. And one of the things that I've been very, very open about with everyone here is, I suck at math. I literally completely am horrible at math. I still think 2 plus 2 is 6, but that's just me in my mind. But with that said, one of the things that I've always said is, you've got to find someone that is good with numbers, not only good with numbers, someone that you think that you can trust, to be out there and tell you the truth. And something that you just mentioned, I don't think we have either on the Cameron County Commissioner's Court right now. I don't think we have anyone, as you mentioned, that is good with the numbers. And two, me personally, I'll speak for me. Not a single one can I feel comfortable with say, oh, I trusted what they're saying is, at least halfway true, truth. I just don't feel that.
Do you know that there's a Cameron County venue Facebook page?
Oh, yes, I've seen it.
Okay, if you look at it, you can go through it in 10 seconds. There's nothing on it. There's nothing there except some really nice pictures and a couple of hundred followers, but there's no information. And do you recall when you first heard of this arena and being on the ballot? Was it 30 days ago?
I know it was just recently.
Exactly. It was just recently. So I don't understand what the rush is, number one. Number two, what I would have done was had town hall meetings. I would have had public hearings. I would have gone to Los Indios, La Paloma, San Benito, and invite the school districts to participate. Let us use their cafeterias or their auditoriums or whatever, and go to the people. Don't make them come to the county commissioner's courtroom. Go to them, and listen. Present more than a 3 to 5 minute slideshow, but with real numbers and real expectations. Has anyone seen the feasibility study and the assumptions? Nobody has.
No,
it's nowhere. So if I'd like to see. I called it out. I'd like to see the feasibility study and what assumptions are they making to come up with this windfall of hotel, motel, and rental fees and all this coming in. But I invite you, Erasmo, to go to that budget, look at it tonight after the show's over. Just kind of go through it. It's not difficult, but it starts on page 243 of the Cameron County budget. And those numbers speak for themselves.
I'm going to do that, but I'm horrible at numbers. But I'm still going to do it.
Just look at it anyway. Yeah.
I'm going to look at it, but I'm not doing good numbers. Let me say something that you mentioned that I thought was very, very interesting was that some of the money that they are expecting to use for this arena was going to come from private enterprise, and they're counting on private business or private money to come in, but that's not a for sure thing.
Well, the only thing that's for sure, if it passes, is 1/3 is going to come from the taxpayers at some point. But I think that 1/3 of the 100 million is to be paid back by these venue taxes that they say it's going to be tourism that's going to pay for all this, not a single dime out of county taxpayers' money. I don't believe that. The other 2/3 is supposed to be coming from grants that they're going to apply for.
Yes.
Sponsors and venue fees. I mean, if someone wants to rent, 10,000 seats or whatever, the numbers. I mean, how often are we going to be able to fill that arena with 8, 9, 10,000 people? How often is that going to happen? Again, I support a concept of it. And a few years ago, I tried to do the same thing, but I wanted to bring all the communities together. Everybody have a little piece of the pie. Harlingen, San Benito, Los Indios signed a resolution that they would participate, everybody with a little piece of the pie, so that everybody had a vested interest in it. So everybody would share in the losses, everybody would share in the profits, if any. When two communities did not want to participate, and I won't mention who they are, I said, then forget it. It's all or nothing. It's all or nothing. Either everybody participates as a true regional county convention center arena, or we don't do it. So I backed off and I chose not to do it.
Well, I think one of my concerns is, we're always trying to get tourism in here, and that's always something that that is constantly used, especially here in the city of Brownsville. Not so much the county level, but maybe the county level as well, with the projects like Isla Blanca Park and the amphitheater out there and other things, in order to get tourists down here. The city of Brownsville, I think, and personally, this is again my opinion and not yours, unless it is, but the city of Brownsville has missed the mark in regards to all these hike and bike trails. They're all over the place. Instead of focusing on those things that directly affect a greater percentage of the individuals here in the city of Brownsville. And I'll give you a couple of quick examples. We've been screaming at the top of our lungs in regards to benches and bus stop coverings for the people of Brownsville who actually use the bus, and who are poorest in our community need to have. We haven't gotten that. We're concerned with the decaying of our Gladys Porter Zoo. Gladys Porter Zoo, you remember that? I mean, you've been around for a while. Not a spring chicken. It's the Gladys Porter Zoo. Was one of the top 10 zoos in the country. And we've slowly let it go into decay. We've closed it into to the degree that we're landlocked, can't go any further unless we start taking some land away from BISD. And there's other things that are the gems of the valley that have just not giving us the bang for our buck. The airport is one of them. Brownsville Airport en su tiempo was the airport in the valley. The airport in the valley. We've got a port. We've got everything that we could want, but it seems that our resources are going to hike and bike trails with the hope that it's going to bring all these tourists in, to the point that we're even spending money on marketing in regards to the bike thing and bike capital of Texas, whatever. So it seems like we're just ill focused in regards to where they're going to make us money. Is this at the county level, which is your expertise? Is this now the same thing that's happening at the county, that they're putting all their eggs in the wrong baskets?
Well, I can't speak for them, but what I can say is this: that if this bond passes tomorrow, they're very accurate. You cannot spend it on anything except this. But we've got bigger fish to fry. We've got bigger needs in this county other than the luxury of having a 8 or 9,000 seat, multi-purpose arena, convention center, and everything. We've got infrastructure issues. We've got flooding. We've got drainage. Just the overall general appearance of the county is not where I think it needs to be. And if we want to attract new people coming in, new businesses coming in, entrepreneurs coming in, every community offers something. But one of the things that every community should offer is a good educational system, adequate healthcare, infrastructure, low taxes, and the most important one, I think, is the integrity of local government. You don't have a lot of folks coming in that want to do business with not so good elected officials. They want to deal with serious people. They want to deal with honest people. They want to deal with smart people. We're not going to attract the businesses that I believe we can attract by not focusing on our basic needs. And that includes shelters. It includes shelters with generators. It includes anticipating freezes and anticipating hurricanes, anticipating things that could go wrong and prepare for them. I don't think the county's done a very good job in preparing for things like that over the last several years.
I agree. And I'll answer this. Thank you, Mr. Council, for addressing this. Please explain to them why your stance changed on an event center. They keep bringing that issue up. And look, and let me say that I agree with Judge Cascos. Guys, I want a convention, an arena type of venue here. I want one. I've wanted one for the longest time. Actually, when I was on the BISD board, I thought that as a district, we could probably go out there and build us a big old arena. And I was thinking in my head that it was a performing arts center because that's one of the things that we promised the community. Look, if we make promises, let's keep the promises until the band directors, they set me straight. And, and again, they are the experts. And the experts told me, Erasmo, an arena type of facility for a performing arts center does not work. We need something smaller. We don't need a 5,000 and 8,000 arena for a performing arts center. Performing arts center, it is peaked at 12 to 1,500 if you're going to build a big one. And I said, well, these guys are the experts, So I switched my stance from going in regards to a performing arts center and supporting an arena type of facility to something a little bit smaller that was actually going to benefit our fine arts department here in our community at the district. That is why my stance changed as a board member. As a community member, I still want an arena here somewhere. Do I want it under the leadership we have now? Absolutely not. Absolutely 100% no way, Jose. And one of the things that concerns me, Judge, is every single stance on corruption that we've been able to pinpoint as of right now, recently, and in the past couple of years, it always involves these LLCs that are owned and by individuals in leadership positions. It's like they want a bigger slice of the pie in some sense. And I've been saying this for years. Unfortunately for us, these individuals have been wanting to skim off the damn contracts. Hey, when does it end?
Well, let me say, first of all, on the LLCs, those are legal entities that a lot of people set up, limited liability companies, and they're usually set up as partnerships, and they're set up to limit liability in case of litigation. I've got a lot of clients that have LLCs, PLLCs, PAs, PCs, etc. They're all about trying to to try to save. That's why they're intended. They're there to limit tax liability. But back on the earlier show that I was on, we had spoken about putting a dome at the sports park. It'd probably be a lot cheaper than $100 million, making it a domed sports park, and maybe that might satisfy the need of some kind of an arena. Doming Sam Stadium, I think that'd be great. You know, I mean, we don't have the room to accommodate hotels and stuff. But look, I think that the concept of having this regional convention center arena is not a bad concept. My opposition to it is that the numbers don't make sense. They don't jive. I'm sorry, and and if, as I said, if they don't jive, the numbers don't lie. You'd have to have a 43% increase just to satisfy the debt of $33 million, a 43% increase in hotel, motel, and car rental venues taxes that they're talking about in order to satisfy the $33 million debt, which is the 1/3 portion that I keep hearing what these venue taxes are supposed to pay. So, I don't I like contingencies. What happens if you can't get a $50 million grant? They're, as you know, Erasmo, and those listening, grants are very competitive. There's no guarantee you're going to get a grant just simply because you apply for it. You're applying for 50 and you get 20. Okay, well, where's your other 30 million going to come from? I just don't like let's wait and see. There should have been more information disseminated by the Commissioner's Court to everyone. This feasibility study that I mentioned earlier, where is it? How come no one has seen it? What are the assumptions that were made? So to me, it's just a shell game. It's a shell game, and I just don't trust the numbers that they're putting out.
Well, I don't trust the numbers because you don't trust the numbers. Me, I don't trust them. Not a single one of them. Not a one. Jessica asked, "Who owns the land of the arena proposed to be built? Do we have? Do you know who owns the property?"
I mean, I've heard a lot of different names floating around. I don't know for a fact. I think it'd be easy to find out just by going to the Cameron County Appraisal District, and if you can find the identity of the property, you can probably find it. But it may be under an LLC that nobody knows. So yeah,
Well,
I don't know.
That's a constant.
I mean, I think all that will surface, and as we know, eventually, if it's something that's inappropriate or not kosher, it's going to surface at some point. It may be too late, but it'll surface.
Well, this is one of Ms. Lamas makes a point that I've shared. One of my concerns. What good would it be to have a multi-million-dollar arena if on the day of the event we have an unexpected rain, as we were told, it floods in less than 2 hours the highway exits that lead to the said venue underwater?
She's right. I mean, that's as you have said and I have said many times, that you've got to take care of your basic necessities, and one of those basic necessities is infrastructure. You've got to have good roads, good drainage. I had calls from Harlingen, people from Harlingen, from La Feria, Santa Rosa. And when you have these meetings, you don't go and chastise people because they're there asking for help. You don't put them down. You don't do dumb things. You don't say dumb things to them. They're asking for help. So to me, you take care of the infrastructure problems that we've got. Take care of those things leading up to a potential arena. Now, the difference I was never comparing the San Benito initiative to this one. I never compared. They're two different things. But one thing is for sure, that at least in the San Benito arena and the San Benito, whatever you want to call it, that's all private money. That's private money. That's not, you've got aggressive entrepreneurs that are going to fund that project. Now, whether it works out, doesn't work out, whatever, that's not the city of San Benito's problem. That's the developer's problem.
Right.
Here, we are on the, to pay this money back at some point.
Well, it's just really, really unfortunate. I mean, I think the first time that I heard the current county judge, is the Eddie Trevino, make mention, it's not going to cost us anything. And I'm going like, bull crap, bro. I mean, I don't know anyone out there that wants to believe that, you know? I mean, of course it's going to cost us. It's going to cost us plenty. And my concern is it's not just going to cost us, it's going to cost a lot of future generations of folks here.
There's no contingencies that I could see if the revenue projections, whatever they're saying that they're going to be, if they don't come through, if they don't come through, what's your plan B? How are you going to pay? I mean, what is it if you're $5 million short? How are you going to pay for it? Where are you going to go to do that? The only place you can go, fund balance, savings, either from the park system
General
or the
fund.
bridge system.
Yeah. One of the things that I think someone had mentioned before we go into these next ones, one of the things that we had, one of the things that we had you had made mention was in regards to, someone made mention in regards to a lot of our staff's salary. For some reason, it seems that the county wants to focus on the salaries of those individuals at the top or those individuals who ultimately got elected into office. And I get to converse, and that's something that you do as well. I get to converse with a lot of the secretaries, a lot of the folks that are actually, collecting the tolls that are working for us on these different bridges and these different places. And they're going like, when is it going to be our turn?
It's funny. It's funny you said that. I saw, and I won't mention who it is, but I saw an ad in the paper on Sunday for an incumbent stating the points. And one of the points that was mentioned was how salaries have been equalized for the rank and file, which is not accurate, number one. And what they did not mention was the fact that elected officials got some pretty hefty raises compared to the rank and file. You don't, when I was judge, everybody, I never really supported giving elected officials a raise higher than everybody else for the simple reason that, when they run, they know what the job pays. And if they don't, they should.
Right.
And to come in and you get elected after 1 or 2 years and you want a 30% raise, 40% raise, because some other counties somewhere else, their commissioners get this without knowing all the facts. You don't know what their tax bases are, don't know what their budgets are, you don't know what their responsibilities are. So to me, it's somewhat disingenuous when someone gets elected and first budget year, they want to give themselves a 30 or 40% raise, plus benefits, plus car allowance, plus phone allowance. You know what? And I won't say who I said this to, but I said this to a couple of long-serving elected officials that are no longer there. If you can find a job in the private sector that's going to pay you what you're getting paid, come and go as you please, with the level of experience that you have, go find it, go get it, and get out of public service. It's that simple. And that's the key phrase. It is public service. It's not to be a career, so to speak. But unfortunately, we don't have that. Commissioners did give themselves some pretty hefty raises, where rank and file maybe got $1,000 bonus or $1,500 bonus, and some of these folks are getting $10, $12, $15,000 raises. That's just not right. At the end of the day, that's not why you run for public office.
Shouldn't be. Public oversight into the finance of the arena is needed. Possible corruption and misuse of funds is my greatest concern. I completely agree with Juan Carlos. I do not trust any of our local politicians. Not as far as Judge Carlos Casos can throw him. He's a pretty strong guy. How will this arena affect the San Benito epicenter?
I don't know. It's again, we have to look at the issue that these are two different projects. I think they're going to appeal to different parts of the community. But again, I'm not going to compare the Cameron County Arena to the Dodge Arena or the Ogden Arena. But one thing that I will tell you is that we need to stop comparing ourselves and try to contrast each other with Hidalgo County. It's two different breeds of cat. Hidalgo County, as I've said before, has double the tax base that we have. They got double the population. They rely on a lot of oil and gas revenues that we do not have. It's just that wealthy, elected officials at Erasmo, when they come to statewide officials, when they come down here, they'll come here and visit and raise maybe $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. They go to Hidalgo, they'll raise $200,000. There's just a lot more money. And keep in mind that Hidalgo County has got a lot more larger cities than we do.
Well, then maybe you could answer something for me, because something that hasn't made much sense to a lot of us. The first fundraising event that Judge Eddie Trevino, threw out there was in Hidalgo County. You know, why Hidalgo County? Why would a county judge here in Cameron County go to Hidalgo County to do his first fundraiser? Is it
I'm,
because of the greater
you know,
revenue out there?
I am not going to speculate as to what it is, but I can tell you. I mean, if you want to know, who contributed money, you go to his campaign report. My concern is this: that a few years ago, there was a move to try to bring in a hospital district into Cameron County. I opposed it, and consequently, it never got on the ballot. And speaking to then county judge of Hidalgo, they had it on the ballot, and I said, Judge, it's not going to pass. I mean, people do not need another taxing entity. And so it didn't. And so my fear is that there may be some folks that want Cameron County to entertain that again and creating a hospital district here. But we'll, you want to see who gave them money, you know, look at his campaign reports. That's all I can tell you.
Basic sense, why do we need an arena when we can't get any other local business going? Yeah, I know. But yeah, I know they all suffer, but no, it's true. I mean, look, I think that we have seen smaller venues, smaller venues, that are struggling. We have a Brownsville Event Center, and I just don't seem to see that they're very, very active in regards to a lot of events, unless they're events that are sponsored by the city himself. So I just don't get why the big old rush to go and bring out a bigger venue when we can't fill out the smaller ones. Why not read down to? I'm sorry. Uh, I'm getting a buzz on my phone. It's an Amber Alert. I'm not gonna look at it. Judge, where exactly is this arena going to be built?
Well, based on what they've proposed, it's at the intersection of Highway 100 and I-69. There are two large plots of land on the north and on the south side. I'm not sure, who owns them or what. I just got that same Amber Alert here,
Yeah.
or anything else like that. That's my understanding. I don't know if there's already contracts out on them. There's contingency contracts. That I don't know.
Uh, I think I can't remember. Simpson was out there saying, Judge Casco's 2022. Uh, are there any plans for your 2022, Judge, that we've shared as of yet, or
Oh,
stay?
there's a plan. Okay. I'll be making an announcement probably after Thanksgiving. As far as the first, I don't like to prioritize things because, different things to different people are that of importance. But there's a lot of things that I'd like to look at. One is, again, I'm a numbers person. I want to see where we are financially. Are we strong? I know when I left, we had almost 90 days worth of operations, which is a lot. When I first got elected, we had 28 days of operations, which means that they could operate the county for about a month without any money. When I left,
Right.
it was about 88 days. So I think that we have to address regionally our drainage system, our flooding issues, infrastructure. I think those have to be something that's up at the top. I think looking at our tax rates, making sure that we're keeping taxes low. So there's a lot of things out there. One thing I can tell you that I'm not going to do is go out and solicit a raise, for myself or any other elected official. I'm going to make them go through the grievance committee and ask your regular folks that get to listen to their pleas. It got to the point where elected officials didn't even want to go through that because they knew that I always opposed it. But I want folks to keep this in mind, that I got the blame a lot of times for not being able to give employees raises in the early years because we were not in very good shape. So I didn't do that. And so, of course, I got the blame. But I keep reminding people that I was only one vote. and everybody could have, anybody, any of the four could have canceled my vote, but all those budgets were passed pretty unanimously. Matter of fact, pretty much all my stuff got passed unanimously. So, we'll just see.
Good. Uh, well, I will say that some of us are very excited for November to come around, especially around Thanksgiving time, and not only for the turkey. We're anxious to hear. And one of the things that I think that I personally feel in the community is, I think a lot of more people are just tired. They're tired of the double talk. They're tired of promises made, promises not kept. And I think a lot of people are just tired of politicians just talking from both sides of their mouth and not getting anything done for our local folk here. So I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people are intrigued. And as some have said, come back, please.
Well, I will tell you this, that I'm not saying I get calls every single day, but there's been a lot of interest in, what are you going to run for? What are you going to run for? You're going to run this, run that. One thing that's for sure, and nobody can say otherwise. I try to be very accessible. I return everybody's calls, text messages, emails. It may take me a few hours to do it, but I always do that. I don't hide. And I think that that's part of being a public servant. You've got to be accessible to everyone. Doesn't matter whether you're a Republican, a Democrat, a vegetarian, libertarian. It doesn't matter. We represent everybody. So, I've taken a lot of hits from for some of my peers for trying to work across the aisle and working with Democrats. But I think that neither party has a monopoly on good government. I think both sides have some good ideas, and both sides have some not so good ideas. It's just a matter of finding those ideas that can serve all your constituency and not just a selected few.
You can vote at your precinct. Tomorrow, Tuesday, is election day. Please go out and vote. And again, guys, I wish that more people would take advantage of early voting, but a lot of people just want to go back out there and vote on election day, which is fine. Your prerogative. Let me say, if anyone out there has any questions in regards to where to vote tomorrow, send me an inbox, and I will find what your precinct is and where exactly you need to go out there and vote. We need everyone to go out there and vote, please. We need to get those numbers. Glad to see you back looking sharp. Thank you, Hector.
I think he
Inbox.
was talking to me.
Oh, well.
I'm just
Mike.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
A vote. Yes, and Chapo. Where can I look up my precinct? There is a site. Send me an inbox and I'll get you the site. But if not, just send me the information and I'll get you where you need to be. I promise. We'll also support Carlos Cascos again. I think a lot of us here will do the same. People that don't vote piss me off. Yeah, me too. Guys, one of the things that I've always shared, and we are getting into election cycle, guys. First of all, make sure that you go out and vote, and encourage anyone and everyone you can to go out and vote tomorrow as well. Please get informed in regards to the different amendments out there, but especially in regards to the arena. But something that the judge mentioned, we just haven't been given enough information and enough time to decimate a lot of the stuff out there. But he has been very, very gracious to share with us, page 243, 244.
Yes, that's where it starts.
243, 244 on the budget, guys. I tried to share a link this morning. If not, you could probably go on to Judge Casco's page and find the link. I'll try to share it as well. Judge, any last words tonight?
No, again, thanks again. If I don't see you before, I hope that everybody has a good Thanksgiving. And I'm going to take, hand sanitizer, mask if you want to, and get vaccinated. But that's your deal.
That's my stance, guys. Social distance, face covering, hand sanitizer. If you still believe in all that, Judge, thanks for coming on, man. I say again, you are the numbers guy. You are the man, and I greatly appreciate your insight, your expertise, and thank you for your time. I know you're very, very, very busy.
I appreciate it.
Good night, y'all. Guys in the committee, please go out and vote tomorrow. It's really very, very important. I'm going to sign off because I do have individuals, an audience here at the studios. Maggie is under the weather. Reach out to Maggie if you could tell her hi, tell her hope she's feeling better, guys, and hopefully she'll be back on with us tomorrow. Guys, please like that YouTube page. Only half of y'all have liked it. Guys, I appreciate your time. God bless. Stay safe. Abraham, my man, love you, Papa. Stay safe. Social distance, face covering, hand sanitizer. Still believing in all that. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock in the morning, guys. Be good to each other, and please continue to be good to me. God bless.